Well, excuse the traffic. I plan to make a video today. On the third week of my granddaughter's arrival. So I just am on my way to see my best friend, and public transport hasn't served me well. I asked for a certain stop and it took me in the wrong direction. So now I'm standing outside a crematorium waiting for an Uber. Anyway, my reflections on the last few weeks. It's been amazing seeing my daughter become a mum. And yeah, it's incredible to see her baby, her beautiful baby, my granddaughter, so similar to how my daughter looked at her early first weeks. And I've been so thrilled to see my daughter becoming confident, assured of what she wants for her baby, being able to cope with all the shock of lack of sleep, feeding regimes, deciding to hold out strongly for breastfeeding, which is what she prefers. And yeah, it's been a time of change for us as a family, which is exciting. Nothing new, everyone goes through it, but I'm really rejoicing in how I want to be available at this time. So I've just been thinking about the fact that setting up the whole idea of a channel called MamaG and Web3 is all very well, and it will be the case that we have these opportunities to talk about the stresses and pressures coming through upon our children from the digital space. But even at this stage, you just think, well, what did my grandparents have to challenge their parenting? It was the war. The worst that could have happened to my mum, having been born straight at the beginning of World War II, would have been fear, anxiety in her parents' psyche, and possible air raid alarms, and then going forward, because their area wasn't particularly battered, even into teenage life, my mum's worst temptations would have been having too many sweets, maybe, but that wasn't even likely because of rationing. And then when we came along, my sister and I, we used to have to be cautioned about watching too many cartoons, and the worst that would happen to us was to become square-eyed, as we were told. Our greatest desire was that we'd be able to watch end-to-end cartoons while there was no such thing as Cartoon Channel, of course. And so we made our own fun. Now we're talking about my daughter's early years, and she was still protected from any digital influences in 1994, but certainly the television was a background influence, and something that I rationed quite carefully. Not so for every family, and you just wonder, what is accepted as normal is very much the way that we've been acculturated by the TV and the media. And now we don't even have the 9 o'clock watershed. So endless access to inappropriate content for young eyes. Now we've got the YouTube channel 24/7, and there'll be more. So now we hardly can tell what's real and what's not real. And these are the challenges our parents are now facing, and my heart goes out to all of you young millennials and Gen Zs bringing up your babies. It's a tough one, but here's my thoughts. Rely on those of the previous generation, draw from their wisdom, look for their advice, and it's not perfect, but it will help. Start to mix it in with what you know and what you feel. But where I differ, I suppose, in what I want to bring in this conversation with my daughter as MamaG, in the world of Web3, which is only in its infancy right now. Where I want to come in is to say, how do parents navigate bringing advice and value to their adult children, bringing up babies and young toddlers, without being overbearing, and especially, and this is the thing that the dynamic that we have right now, is when somebody like myself has a very strong faith and value system. It's not entirely adopted by my daughter. She's on her own journey, and there's a respect, and there's a dance, there's a sort of interplay between what's something I would feel strongly about and what she has the right to feel strongly about now as a new parent. And so my conversation that I'm making public, and with my daughter's permission, and certainly happily involved in this, is to see how our relationship evolves, how our conversation about faith and life and the big issues starts to affect our conversation about faith, about protections, about values, about parenting, about how we teach a child in the way that they should go, so that they will live in a good way according to, and I say, your word, the Bible, where that doesn't necessarily seem to be top priority in those that we've reared and the babies they will rear. How do we conduct ourselves as grandparents with wisdom, discretion, and respect and love for the emerging new family? I want to try and tackle that, and this year is going to be exciting because I'm learning to live in the moment, to be available, to be a grandmother as much as I can. Things will change in the next few years as I start to move towards retirement, perhaps somewhere along that line. And I just want to be a valuable resource to my daughter. And I look forward to these conversations. I want to share them with you. I'm excited to say that Care for the Family is going to involve me in a focus group for 2025, and I look forward to serving the new parents involved in that as well. Take care. See you soon when I get there.